Here with Terry Horan after the bye week, so it's been a couple weeks before you guys get to step on the field again. Let's go back to Washington and at PLU.
Yep.
You guys started slowly. After that first quarter, you had not a lot of offensive yards. It was a tight game, and all of a sudden something changed, and you were able to take control. Was it tactically that you guys changed, or was it just the personnel realizing what they had to do?
Yeah, first of all, we went into that game knowing we were going to see a really good opponent. I mean, we squeaked by a year ago, 26-21, and a lot of their guys were back. They're coming off a big win. We're coming off a tough loss, all the travel that goes into it. But I thought our defense really played well, really for the entire game, and their stops, I think, started to energize our offense, knowing that, listen, we keep shooting ourselves in the foot here. We're better than this. Let's go out and start executing. So I think it was just a little bit of, we just need to execute. We need to do our thing, and maybe not press so much. Just go out and do our thing. And obviously some adjustments, seeing how PLU was defending us. It was a new D coordinator. They were doing some different things. But once we got into that second half, we're up 7-3 at halftime, and we get into that second half and really started getting things going. And then we capitalized on a couple big turnovers. We had 3 picks, but then we had a great punt coverage by Alex Sanchez, who stripped the ball and gave us a short field. A couple plays later, we're in the end zone. So proud of how we continued to hang on, but found a way to win and play much better in the second half. But we've got to start faster, that's for sure.
And Cooper Mattern, the quarterback, did a nice job getting different wide receivers the ball, and he threw for 4 touchdowns.
Right.
Could you see his progress throughout the game as he tried to slow things down?
Absolutely. He's a smart quarterback. He sees the field well. He's as competitive as the day is long. He certainly did a nice job at delivering the football and getting it into some playmakers' hands. And we had some firsts. We had some guys scoring their first touchdown of their collegiate career, and that's exciting too. But Cooper, he settled down more the second half and started slicing, and that's what we need.
And then defensively, the first game, Jaden Mousset comes through with a big game. And kind of takes over for PJ Parmalee, who was the leader coming in, and all of a sudden PJ says, well, not so fast.
Not so fast.
And he had a really good game against PLU.
Yeah, well, he's a veteran. The guy's been playing a lot of football for us. Our inside linebackers are always kind of what makes our defense tick. And PJ is just, he's like another coach out there. He really, really is. He's a solid communicator. He's tough as the day is long. It was really good to see him have a great game. And Jaden Mousset is, again, he's a solid athlete out on the outside, but they're a great 1-2 punch.
All right, now let's look forward to Saturday's game against St. Scholastica. Once again, it's a team you've only played once before, right, just last year, and they're coming off a big win as well.
Right.
Well, last week. What have you guys done to prepare for St. Scholastica as you've gone from PLU to St. Scholastica?
Right, so after PLU we had kind of the much needed, what I felt was the bye week. Bye weeks never really come at a great time, but for us I think this year that was a good time because of that trip. That trip's not an easy trip, so we needed a couple days. We kind of focused on us and getting better into the fundamental part of things the week because we wanted to get one more film piece from St. Scholastica. Since they didn't play week 1 when we played Eau Claire, they've played the last 2 weeks, all right? So they're 1-1 coming in the game. They just beat Crown, played really well. They return a lot of players. I think they got 8 on offense, 8 on defense. Their specialty areas back to. So they're doing some different things defensively that could create some challenges as well. But offensively, he's got weapons. He's got a good QB. So this is certainly a team that can do some things, and they're coming in with confidence, and no bye week for them, so they've played back-to-back, so they're in their normal routine, which we got to get back into that routine, and we're excited for not only our home opener, it's homecoming, but also it's the MIC opener, so we want to come out ablazing, that's for sure.
Now on offense, if you have to pick one that you want to be successful against St. Scholastica, you have to pick one of the 3. It's first down, being successful on first down, third down conversion rate, okay, or hanging on to the ball, not a lot of turnovers?
I'm going to pick first downs. I mean, we want to get a lot of chunks on first downs. That makes your calls a lot easier as you move forward through things. So we got to get better at first downs. That'll help us. In 2 games, there was a game where we were solid on first downs and not great on third down, and then we flipped it. But we want to do well on first downs so we can make those second play calls a lot easier.
And then defensively, the 3 different positions, what one's going to have to step up and play? I know they're all going to have to play really well, but you got your D-line, your linebackers, your defensive secondary. Which, going into Scholastica and knowing what they do, which one of those 3 is going to have to really step up?
Well, I think our front 7 really needs to step up. I mean, they're about as 50-50 as you're going to come. They've been wanting to run the football too, but they can sling it. They've got good receivers. We need to obviously do some things up front to hopefully create some havoc a little bit, so then our secondary can be, have a really good day. So our front 7's gonna, to me, that's gonna be a good sign if we're having a great day.
Now you talked about it's homecoming, but not only is it homecoming, but you get to unveil the new Jake Stadium renovations with the lights, the turf, the track. Excitement level for you is at an all-time high?
All-time high, and just the turf has been wonderful. I mean, we get to practice and compete on such a great surface, and I've said this a lot in a lot of different interviews, but this surface is on every Big Ten field that has field turf. The Gophers, Ohio State, Michigan. So we're playing on a great turf, and obviously the lights have been stellar for us because now we can practice in the mornings, and that's been great. It really has.
Is that from your point of view or the players' point of view?
Yeah, I think the players are starting to really kind of like it as well. It gives them, honestly, gives them more recovery time. They can go eat at normal times. I mean, and from a staff perspective, we're able to upload our film, watch film, and then have meetings later in the afternoon just to go through the film. We're better prepared for the next day. When that alarm goes off for me at 3:45 in the morning, it's sometimes I'm wondering what I'm doing. But once we get there, it actually it's been great. It really has. So the addition of lights has been stellar. The color schemes everywhere, and then the branding that's going on out there. I mean, you can get out to the Jake this Saturday because you're going to see, a huge uplift with Jake Christensen Stadium. It's beautiful.
And finally, talk a little bit about the homecoming festivities, but I want to single in on the Hall of Fame situation. Yeah. You've got 2 former players and a former coach going in. Yeah. You got Nick Didier, you got Josh Dietz, and then former coach Doug Perry going in. A little bit about all 3 of those.
Sure. Well, I'll start with Coach Perry. Coach Perry was around when I was a player, and then when I came on as the head coach, he still was helping out with football. Obviously an alum of Concordia. He spent a lot of years here at Concordia. His son Jay and I were teammates, so really happy for Doug, and he's put a lot of time into Concordia. He's cut his teeth in a lot of different sports. He was in track and field, he was in wrestling, and then coaching football, plus recruited. I will say this though, never really saw him ever have a bad day. This guy brought energy every single day. He loved to bring in a lot of new plays, and especially the swinging gate, and wanted me to run the swinging gate many times. There were times where he'd be looking at me in practice when he was running plays with the JV to see where I was, and if my back was to him, he was running the swinging gate just to get the swinging gate in, and the JV kids were just laughing, and so he kept it pretty light, that's for sure. And so I've always appreciated his energy and enthusiasm for the game. Nick Didier, man, probably one of the most honored Cobber football players that we've had, and especially in my time here. I mean, that guy, his senior year, he hit every All-American board. He was the Mike Stam Award winner, which goes out to the most valuable lineman in our conference. Played in the Aztec Bowl back when it was an all-expense-paid trip by the AFCA, the American Football Coaches Association, and he was hand-picked to go play in that game down in Mexico City. And I know he had a great experience there. He was a captain. unbelievable man, and he was a heck of a football player. Just a warrior for us. Josh Dietz, another warrior. I still remember, and both him and Didier played a lot of football. They were all 3-year starters. I think they both traveled as freshmen. I remember Dietz kind of coming on the scene where we were seeing him in a JV game his freshman year, and just lights out, making play after play after play. And I said, this guy's got to get on our bus. We got to get him on some special teams. And then he just took off. Just anytime we needed a big play, 43 was there, always there. And he played with a lot of passion. He had great speed, great agility, and he'd hit you like a ton of bricks. Plus he played baseball here. He pitched for the Cobbers. So he was he was somebody pretty special, obviously, to all of us, and we're excited to induct all 3 of these guys.
Good luck on Saturday.
Appreciate you.